Right, so today we're making a guide on the Zebak path. I'm eventually going to get round to doing all of them, hopefully. They're going to be basic from no invocations on to with all or most of the invocations on. So this will be the Zebak one anyway. So first of all, I'm going to show a playthrough of doing the path, and then going into Zebak we're going to have no invocations on for the first time, and we're going to talk about the attacks that he does, what we can do to avoid them, etc, etc. And then we're going to put on the invocations and we'll go through the invocations. So for now, so not just a head, Zebak will gain access to blood magic. So every now and again he'll do like a blood barrage almost. So that's an attack to avoid. Arterial spray. The radius and healing of Zebak's magic will be increased. So this one will make it so if you're standing near each other, you take damage. You stack damage from the blood attacks. Blood thinners. The blood balls that come at you, they'll be split into 3 rather than 1. And upset stomach. The jugs to get rid of the poison on the floor or the acid on the floor. They're going to give a smaller radius of clearing effect. So yeah, that's the 4 Zebak invocations. But yeah, first kill, we'll go in, we'll just talk through it, go through the path, go through the actual kill, and then we'll do a kill with all of those on, so you can see them in action. So we're going to jump straight in. Right, so first things first, you're going to put your mage gear on, and you're going to get you're going to be on the ancient spellbook, so you can freeze the crocodiles. In this one, I'm not too fussed about getting the crocodiles because I'm just trying to record it and show all of them. So usually you would be able to do this in 2 runs. But this first one, as soon as you see that first one retract, you can run the whole way through on the left side if you're facing towards a waterfall. And you can also run straight back out as well because of the way they come in and out, because of the timings. That's the easiest one because it's a 1-click straight in, straight out. So now I would freeze the crocodile. If you're too quick on the first one, if you attack it before it moves, you don't actually freeze it. And he got a jump off there. Not that it matters anyway. But so the second one, this is, you're going to run through the whole thing as soon as you see that first one retract. I was a bit slow there for some reason, but you get plenty of time. And then on the way back out, if you run through the first 2, you stop in between those, make sure you're not in line with any of the green things, and as soon as you see those retract in front of you, you can run all the way through. So it's like a 1 stop in the middle, easy. So if you're doing like solo, like for me doing solo, that's what I do. I run that one and the next one. Usually I'd make sure the crocodile doesn't get it, and that would be me done. So this third one, this is 1 at a time on the way in. If you're, depending on the timing you get, sometimes you can get really lucky and you can get over here and you can get through like 2 or 3 before you have to slow down. On the way out, as soon as the first one retracts, you're going to run through 2. As soon as that one in front of you retracts, you're going to run through another 2. You're going to make sure you're not in line with the green thing. And that's it. Nice and easy. You're back out. Back to the tree. I'm going to go in for the last one now, show you what this one's like. So the last one, it's the same as the last one. It's just slightly faster. So you're just going to make sure you're out of line with the green thing. Run through the first one, first 2. Keep going, following it, just chasing it through. Get to your water, fill your water pot. Then you're going to run through 2 at a time again. When you see the spikes retract, or you can do 1 at the first one like I've just done. Run through 2. As soon as it retracts again, run through 2. And easy as that, you're back out. That's all of those paths. There is probably faster ways, like at a specific tick, clicking all the way through. Go back and pick up your brew or your restore, or whatever you've dropped, and then go into Zebak. And that's the path. It's quite simple. It's just getting the timings down. But yeah, if you're on a specific one, rewatch it and just practice it. So here I've combat pot. I'm gonna run in. I'm gonna BGS Zebak. Hit him quite hard because I'm only on level 0. This is very quick. So swapping over to range gear. First of his special attacks is a wave attack. So this wave attack, he's going to throw out a load of acid a load of jugs. You can pop the jugs and clear the acid if you need to. And then you're just going to stand in the gaps. When you're doing this on level 2 and level 4, when Zebak's level 2 and level 4, he's going to give you one less space. So level 2 you'll have only 2 spaces, and level 4 you'll have 1 space. So that's how that attack works. You're just dodging it. I think it's on Galvac from Dragon Slayer 2 if you've done that. Same sort of thing. So the second special attack, you see I just hit the jug, and we're going to stand within 3 squares behind the rock. This attack will do 3 hits of about 35 damage, I think it is, if you're not behind the rock. So you want to make sure you are behind the rock. We're going to run straight back out. Typically, I like to stand on this top corner, especially on like a solo, because when the second wave attack, or when the wave attacks come out, generally, the edges seem to be a bit more clear. The middle is always busy with acid. So yeah, I like to stand up here. You see the whole middle, there's bits everywhere, but the end seems to be pretty clear. I can pop those 2 jugs behind me if I need to go further back, but I don't need to. Also, when the wave comes through, it does clear a lot of the acid, usually. So by the time you get to the second one, you are actually like pretty much in the clear. So yeah, praying against his normal attacks. His normal attacks, the jugs, they're a mage attack, and the rocks are a range attack. Another special attack. So this again, standing behind the rocks, and I'll run through the acid. And yeah, so the acid will like poison you. So yeah, the normal attacks are a mage attack and a range attack. The attack explodes in the air, and then it hits you a few ticks later. And then on level 2 and level 4 in the last phase, he'll attack faster in all of the levels, but in level 2 and level 4 he attacks faster each time. So now you can see as the jug hits like sort of like its peak in the air, the last attack hits me. So if he changes, as soon as I see it change to range, I'm not going to change instantly as soon as I see it coming out of his mouth. I need to wait for that last one to hit me. So if I'm playing on a higher level and he's attacking faster at that phase, I need to change that prayer even later. So not when it pops in the air, I'm going to wait for the last one to come down, because there's almost like there's 3 in the cycle. So now we're going to go in and do the raid with Zebak with all of his invocations on. It's a level 300 raid as well, so he'll be scaled up a bit, so it'll take a little bit longer to get through him. But we'll be able to see all of his special attacks due to the invocations. I'm just running through here just to get this bit done quick. So yeah, I took a bit of damage there because I actually ran early. But again, as soon as you see that they've gone in, you can run out. Even if you're in line with those, as long as you're early enough, you can run out without getting chased down by the green thing. So ready to freeze the crocodile. We saw that we hit, so as soon as we've seen that, we know we've got 15 seconds to run through, get our next jug of water and get back. And as long as we don't take any hits on the way out, then we know we're good to go. So run through the first 2 again. I know I'm out of line with the green thing, so I stay where I am. They've all come in, we run out. So that clears that room, 2 runs, nice and easy. So I'm going to pick up my restore that I dropped. I'm going to change back over to my melee gear and run into the Zebak room, and then I'm going to get ready for the fight with Zebak. So I'm going to take a dose of combat potion before I go in, and I'm going to, as soon as I go in, I'm going to drop one of my restores, put on my BGS, run in, give him a good spec. Nice 3, nice big one. Put on prey range for the first attack. 0 on the second BGS, so that's no good. So from there I'm going to range pot. I'm going to start flicking rigor, and I'm going to keep an eye on Zebak, what attacks he's doing. So you're going to see a red blood barrage almost come from his hand now. So I need to put on Prey Mage, and that is the blood spell that if you're standing near other people, you will stack the damage, so you'll all take damage to the amount of people together. So everyone wants to be sort of spread apart a little bit, and it's pretty easy to dodge because you all get all away from each other, and as long as you're praying mage for it, it's not too bad. It's an easy one to miss because it's not very in your face, but once you get the hang of it. it's not too bad. But yeah, that's his blood magic invocations being on. So he's got another one where he'll do like a blood ball that will chase you around, and we've got the invocation on that makes it 3 balls instead of 1. On solo, it doesn't really matter, it doesn't really make much of a difference. Smaller jugs, we've got to get a bit better with our timing now, so it only does a 3x3 square, but still, we can clear plenty of space, enough space to get behind the rocks. And again, that attack, we don't want to be standing out in the open for it. So I'm going to run back up to the top, because generally, like I said in the first run, it's clearer. It tends to be clearer. When I say top, it's actually the south, so it's technically the bottom. But I did the Prey Mage for the blood attack again then. So yeah, I'm going to stay near the top because it just tends to be clearer. The middle seems to always get hit with a bit more of it. Just hitting those back ones just to clear them. Because we've got the smaller jugs on as well, it's just easier to get them out of the way, get it all clear, and back to normal. Exactly the same thing, whether you're doing level 0 or whether level 300, you're just dodging these waves. So just like that, the waves are done. So because this is pre-recorded, I know it's coming, but the next time he does the blood spell, it looks like the normal blood spell where you go Prey Mage for, but he summons the blood balls that are going to chase you around, and because we've got the invocation that splits it into 3, if you're in a multiplayer game, they'll split up and chase random people, but if you're on a solo, they'll all just come to you. So in a solo, it's like 3 points. I mean, most of the stuff in Zebak is pretty much 3 points, because once you've learnt it, it's really easy. There's none of them that really make a big difference that I've found. Apart from the jugs being smaller, sometimes if you mess up, you're like, oh shit, I'm probably going to plank here. But because it's the first room that I do as well, it's not the end of the world. So for me, Zebak is just like 3 points, get all the invocations on, first room, easy done. So the last phase, faster again, same as level 0. It's going to be just the same speed as that, because Zebak is still level 0, whether you're doing a level 0 or a level 300. So you can see the attack hits pretty much the same tick as it explodes in the air. So yeah, again, if he does his blood spells, that's the blood balls, you've got to run away from them obviously, but if he does his blood spells where you have to Prey Mage against them, you can't actually, because it lands on the same tick as an attack, you can't actually prayer flick to it without taking the range damage. And because I use the invocation that drains prayer for damage, it's not worth swapping for it just for the sake of stopping him from healing, unless I've got a shit ton of prayer and I'm not worried about it. But yeah, I think that's everything for Zebak that I can think of, that I know of. Pretty simple once you get it down. So yeah, that's everything. I hope you liked the video, and as I say, I'm going to try and do all of the paths at some point, and try and run through everything that's worth doing. Alright, thanks.